Urmează o prezentare, intrăm în câteva prezentări înainte de pauza de masă și avem Reconsidering Cybersecurity Plan as Breaches Become Inevitable. Și let me check. Și l-avem pe domnul Murat Kaymaz, sper că am pronunțat corect. So, Mr. Murat Kaymaz, Managing Director of Cybersecurity, Soitron Group. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. There was a lot of emphasis today, since the morning sessions, on cybersecurity. I think this is my lucky day, because I'm also going to press on cybersecurity today. But I'm aiming to cover it from a more practical aspect, hoping to contribute from another angle for you. This is the agenda I will cover in the next 15 minutes. And I will start with the cybersecurity problem itself, and now move to the possible solution to it. Of course, it's hard to explain the problem and the solution all together in 15 minutes, and it's hard for me to do it all, but I will do it at a very high level. Cybersecurity problem has one side, the bad guys. The bad guys are the attackers. We have to understand what is the motivation of the attackers and how they do it for us. What is the ways that they are doing for us? When we examine the attack types, there are three common attack types that we see today. So one common type, which is the most common one in this case, is the e-crime attacks. These are the attacks that are done for money. So ransomware is a good example to it. The second most common attack type is the targeted attacks, which are also called state-sponsored attacks. So these are done for political reasons, for national reasons, and some examples are already given in the morning hours. And the third common attack type is the hacktivist attacks. These are done for ideology reasons. So not for money, not for politics, but for ideology. An example can be the hacktivist group Anonymous in this case. So these are the methods, the attack types that attackers are using, and their top three motivations. Honestly speaking, in the past years, there is not much change in the motivations of attackers. Now, let's look to the other side of the problem, the business side of the problem. What are the major changes and trends in businesses? Now we see some major changes. So after COVID, it's obvious that remote working is staying. It's not going anywhere, either hybrid or in digital nomads, totally remote. Remote work is staying. Another major trend also being discussed in the morning hours is the digitalization and offering of digital services growing. So it's not going anywhere back, but it's only going forward. In e-banking, e-commerce, e-government, there are many more services coming on. And finally, a third major trend can be for businesses is to move to cloud. Okay, it's slower in some countries and it's faster in some countries, but it is happening. It is going to happen in everywhere. Now, what is the common thing in these three trends in terms of cybersecurity? There is one thing in common, very common. In all three trends, users, devices, and applications are moving outside our networks. They are moving outside our protected zones, which means we are becoming unprotected. So the picture of our corporate network is changing. There is not an immediate perimeter that we can define anymore. Or we can call it a bigger perimeter, which is not uniform and is very expanded. So this perimeter we refer as the attack surface now. The attack surface is expanding because of the major business trends happening, which is giving the attackers more chances to attack to our businesses and be successful out of it. Now, our task is to solve this problem, to secure this attack surface. It's no easy problem, and there's no easy solution. But we have a recommendation, which is a mindset change. Normally, any CISO, security officer, would like to think that their network is safe and they should protect it for being safe. Now, we recommend another mindset to protect this attack surface. And the mindset is we should assume that we are breached already, or we will be breached in the very near future because we are expanding as the attack surface and somebody will leave a vulnerability. Our guys in IT will leave a vulnerability, and in the end, we will be breached. So if once we assume breach, then it is easier to think about next steps. Maybe it is faster to think about next steps to find out breach, remove it, and be more protective for the upcoming breaches. So I will list 5 steps forward to be more secure, assuming that we might have been breached or we will be breached very soon. So first of all, since users, devices, and applications got out of our legacy networks, we have to rediscover our assets. Where are our users? Where are our applications and devices? This is highly important. Secondly, we have to protect our identities and applications. Why? Because users are now remote. They can be remote, which means their identity is at the remote end, which means this identity is now the new perimeter for us. So we have to protect the identity as if we are protecting our perimeter. Secondly, applications. The remote user is using the applications that they were using inside our network, but now the application is being used outside our network. So application is the new network that we should protect. A third step is to apply segmentation to our infrastructure. Now that we have a big attack surface, bigger infrastructure, we can only be protecting it if we cut it into smaller pieces, so that if we are attacked, if attacker breaches in, then we can contain him in a certain segment, not allow to move into other segments. A fourth step is to invest in a detection policy, which is going to help all of us to identify attackers once they are inside our network. Again, at every step, we should assume that we are either breached or we may be breached very soon. Finally, monitoring continuously and responding fast is of top criticality. Now, who is going to do all these steps? Of course, the security teams and the CISO. But there is this challenge of CISO in choosing the right solutions out of 1,500 security vendors and solutions. Yes, the security market is very fragmented, and when you go out there to find the right solution for you, you see plenty of choices. From one side, it is good to have many options, but from the other side, you have to spend the time and effort to find the right solution for you. Another set of challenges for CISO in securing the new attack surface is the limitation of resources. At first, in the market, there is not enough skilled people. And if you find the skilled people, the right expertized security experts, you have to pay higher to them. And this brings us to a budget problem. The budget has to be divided between hiring good people and having good solutions onboarded. So usually what we see is that budgets are not enough, and the projects are delayed to next year, and then some to other year. And this brings us to the third limitation, time. As we play with time, delay the projects, then we are risking something. We are leaving the gaps open, and the attackers can enjoy the gaps. Now, CISOs, security teams, can definitely get help to overcome this. How? They can get help from the industry. So they can get help from vendors, they can get help from partners to learn about solutions, to invest in them in their budget, to get help with people resources from outside the company. But every vendor, every partner, every company in this big world of cybersecurity will focus on certain areas of the customer need. Then it is again CISO's challenge to put together everything into one holistic picture. Now, that is where we get into the picture, and that is where we may help. In our team, we have more than 50 security experts serving for our customers. And we look at cybersecurity in a life cycle approach. We start with consulting and design for our customers. So we sit with our customers, try to understand their total need, and then try to address the need with the right designs of potential solutions. We have the integration capacity over a large product portfolio, starting with Cisco products and complementing it with other products to fulfill customer needs. Now, on top of integration, we still need to solve the manpower problems of our customers. So we provide operational support services too, which is not product support. It is more working with customer as if we are part of their employee and managing their security infrastructure together. And lastly, we have SOC services, 7/24 monitoring and responding to incidents. In this life cycle, we do as much as we can to help our customers. And how we can do that? One final note about who we are. We are DataNet in Romania. DataNet is a very well-known company in Romania, offices in Bucharest and Cluj. DataNet is part of Soitron Group, and Soitron Group has presence in 7 countries in Europe and Turkey. We have local cybersecurity teams in countries, and we move expertise between countries in order to serve our customers better. This is how I wanted to present cybersecurity to you from a more practical approach on how you can see it today and on how you can fulfill the requirements today and in the very near future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Murat. I have to confess that I'm very happy that somebody had the courage to put into a presentation that we have to assume breach, which means that finally we all have to understand that we cannot protect 100% our company's assets. Is that correct?
That's definitely true, although it is not our intention to leave it open. But if we assume, at least if we have the mindset that we are like any other that can be breached, then this will give us the additional motivation to think in different ways to get rid of the breach. Even if we are not breached, it will be good for us.
And I'd like to also to ask you, can a company, a large company right now, to defend only with the IT department, or do we need in general partners to protect us?
This is the trend that we are seeing. Initially, in the past years, we've seen that companies were investing into their teams, forming dedicated security teams inside to deal with security requirements of their companies, which was good. And the CISO representation came after that, which is perfect. But in the recent years, we are seeing that companies are having issues with resources, especially the resource issue related to skilled people. So then they have to turn out to other possibilities so that they can be able to implement their projects still on time. So I think companies, enterprise companies, they really need some outsider, some third party to work with them to improve their security.
Murat, thank you very much for your presentation, and well, thank you for. I didn't know that DataNet was actually acquired by your group.
DataNet is for a long time part of Soitron group.
Okay. Yes. Thank you very much, Murat.
Thank you.